I'm Nancy from Tales of the Ravenous Reader. I'm so very excited because look who I have here with me today, Lenny Taylor. She's here at Kepler's because she's here to promote her beautiful new book, Strange the Dreamer. Love this so much. I finished it in a day on audio.
Thank you.
Yes.
On audio?
On audio.
Nice.
I have huge commutes, and so I'm always, as everybody knows, I'm always listening to books. So I loved the reader. He had such an amazing voice.
Yeah, he's got a very, I asked for him after a librarian that I know, Heidi.
Hey, Heidi! I know her. Yeah.
You do? Yeah. She told me about him, and because I said I wanted a male reader for this book that had a sexy voice, and she said, Steve West. So,
yes, it is definitely, you listen to it and you just you get transported by him. So it's just wonderful, which brings me to the fact that your world is so wonderful. It's mesmerizing, it's lush, and it's gorgeously dark. And I just... I can envision your world. I can close my eyes and envision it brick by precious brick.
Thank you.
And in quite vivid detail. And I wanted to know, where did the idea of Weep come from?
Where did the idea of Weep come from? I don't really know. I mean, the primary idea for this book was Sarai, was the Muse of Nightmares, and this, young woman who lived... Before there was anything else, there was maybe 20 years ago a story I had tried to write, and she was a young woman who lived in a kind of a high tower above a human city, and she was isolated from the people, and she would send nightmares down to the people who lived in the city, and there was I didn't know why or who she was, but just this idea of this character. And so when I started sort of trying to think about who she was, it came together with this other loose floating idea of a city that had been living under the oppression of gods, these gods who had come in and then been defeated, and either at the time they were exiled or chased out versus actually murdered. And so, thinking, what would that do to the city, and eventually the idea of Weep evolved out of that. And wonderful. And then I wanted to see it from an outsider's perspective, somebody who didn't know what had happened there and why it had sort of disappeared, and
still curious about it, wanting to know. Yes. So how is this series different from your Smoke and Bone series?
I guess it's different in a lot of ways, though I'm sure it shares some similarities, but it's not rooted in our world at all. It's purely secondary world fantasy. So the world building was all sort of, with Daughter of Smoke and Bone, you could use cultural references, and it was still rooted in our world, and teen girls who talk like teen girls talk, and everything. There was this familiarity, but in this case, it was sort of world building from scratch, and that was different. And so that's, I think, would be the main thing. And it's got a male protagonist instead of a female protagonist, and I'm sure it's different in a lot of other ways. Well, Daughter of Smoke and Bone is a story. It's also the aftermath of a war, but it's a little fresher. You get more of that conflict, whereas in this case, we're looking 15 years after a war and looking at sort of the aftermath of trauma. Yeah.
So you have such a beautiful writing style, and people just swoon over it. Has this manner of writing always come to you this way? Is it easy for you, or
I mean, I don't know about easy, but I know it's my happy place, is playing with words and playing with sentences, and so that was always when I thought of writing. There was sort of two things that were writing to me when I was younger, and one was world building and just sort of the dreaming up part, and then the other part was language on the sentence level. I just love, I love writing sentences. The hard part for me to sort of figure out and make work in order to become a real writer was the storytelling piece, and was continuing to pile up sentences that moved towards telling a story, and that was the part that was hard for me for various reasons. And so, but language has always been, so I love revising. I love getting to that place where I'm just tinkering with the sound of the words. I read everything out loud, and the rhythm is really important to me, and I spend a lot of time, but that's just what I love to do. The language piece.
And it's absolutely beautiful, because you just... You just can't help it. Just so wonderful. And what are you working on right now?
I am working on the sequel to Strange the Dreamer, which is called The Muse of Nightmares, which was the initial title of Strange the Dreamer before Laszlo took the story over and became the main character, which he was not initially supposed to be, but I just fell in love with him and he took the story over. And so now, I mean, he continues to be a main character in the sequel, but the idea is that we'll see a little bit more of Sarai's agency, but who knows what will actually happen as I write it.
You never know. And when is that due to come out? Or
I think that it's supposed to be out in fall of 18.
Yeah. So long.
I know.
So long, but I will eagerly wait for anything that you have coming out, and I'm sure everyone will too. Make sure you come and pick up Strange the Dreamer if you have not. It is amazing. I read it in one day.
Also, it's so shiny.
And it's so shiny, so pretty. Not only that, I did buy the UK version, so it's coming.
Oh, that's really
with
beautiful
my beautiful
too.
blue sprayed edges.
I loved both of them
And
so much.
not only that, but I love this part because we reviewed it. This is just beautiful.
Yeah, and the UK one has that gold moth embossed on the spine too.
I do. So it's very beautiful. You're very lucky with your books, and I'm so very excited.
I'm thrilled with both of these covers.
Yay! Thank you very much. So come back and visit us soon. Bye.